Hello everyone, I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you're interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. Sorry guys, my eyes are blue and more light goes in them than most other eye colors, so I always have to wear sunglasses during the day, but I can see really well at night. All right folks, so I want to talk to you about some things that has to do with money saving. Now I've been on this, it's not really a money saving journey, it is a live on as little as possible journey, which is why I wrote the book, Living on Almost Nothing. And I want to get a little bit philosophical with you all here. So whenever you hear people talk about needs and wants, they usually start with something like, yes, you need a car, but do you need the brand new $75,000 car? Or yes, you need food, but do you need to dine out every day? I take it as far as you can take it. It's not just one step further, it's like 20 steps forward. Now, one of the things that I learned a long time ago is marketing and advertising. So companies will use whatever means necessary to get you to purchase their product because they are in the business of making money. It doesn't matter if they lie to you, make you feel guilty, make you feel fear. They don't care as long as they get that money. They want your money, okay? And I'm gonna give you an example, and that would be Clorox disinfectant wipes. I remember a long time ago seeing a commercial for Clorox disinfectant wipes. And it was a woman with children, little tiny children. And the commercial was basically saying, if you don't buy our anti-disinfectant, whatever it is, their wipes, you're putting your children in danger. And if you're putting your children in danger, you're a horrible parent. You're just the worst thing on earth. So they put fear into the equation, guilt into the equation, all to get your money, okay? Now, Clorox is the majority made of bleach, which is a really strong disinfectant. But you know what's been a disinfectant for hundreds of years? Vinegar, soap. Soap was created in 4000 BCE in ancient Asian countries. So we've been using these products forever, but they have to take it a step further and add all these chemicals and then guilt you into buying the product. So that's just an example. And what I've come to find is that when you completely ignore the advertising, completely ignore what they have brainwashed you to think, and you start thinking for yourself, that the majority of necessities are not necessities at all. And I'm going to use a couple of examples on myself. Now, growing up, I grew up poor. I was just having this memory yesterday about my bed. I had a little twin size bed, didn't have a bed frame. It was on milk crates. And by the time I was like 14 or 15, we learned never to complain, but the bed, I don't even know where it came from. It was obviously used when I got it, but the spring, it was very uncomfortable, and not because it was lumpy, but the springs were coming out of the cloth fabric and poking me at night. They were actually stabbing me in the middle of the night. And after a year or two of that, of just laying blankets on top of it, not saying anything to my mom, I finally had to say something because I had to go and get a tetanus shot because it stabbed me. And I finally said, like, yeah, I didn't do this. It's from my bed. Anyway, so growing up, we didn't have the extras. We always grew up with the VO5 shampoo, which back then was like 29 cents. You know, and now it's one of the only shampoos that you can still get for less than $1. You can get them at the bottom shelf at Walmart. But one of the things that we didn't have deodorant. And so I never had it. And then I learned later on that, you know, people think that if you don't use deodorant, you're disgusting, you're smelly, you're gross, because that's what the advertising has brainwashed people to believe. So of course I went out and bought deodorant, the expensive kind. This is probably like $8 now. Smells really great, looks really great. But then when you look into deodorant, if you don't continue using it, you go through about a month and a half of being really, really stinky, right? Now this, I don't know how old it is, okay? So couple years ago, I was like, I don't know how old this is. I don't use it. I mean, see, it still has this. So a couple years ago, I was like, I don't know if this is expired or not, so I'll buy another one. So I bought another one, and it still has the top on it. I haven't used it. I have never used deodorant. I've used it maybe 10 times in my life, and people, I'm on the screen, so you can't smell me. You have no idea what I smell like, but the advertising will make you believe that I stink. Like I'm just some stinky, nasty chick on YouTube trying to save money by not using a necessity. Turns out it's not a necessity at all. It's not a necessity, and I don't smell. And I'll tell you why I don't smell. Because I shower every day. Okay, I don't shower, I bathe. I'm a bather, but I get clean every day. And I use, exfoliating. I use exfoliating scrub, not scrub. It's a hand mitt. I don't know what to call it. An exfoliator. Getting birds. And now here's another thing, is that when I typically quit using something, this is the weirdest thing. The thing that I stop using typically just shows up. I don't pay for it, but it shows up. I'm going to give you another example. Years ago, I stopped using garbage bags in my garbage because it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't live in an area where we have to take it to a specific dumpster and it has to be in a bag. We just have our typical, green bin waste, and then the guy comes, dumps it in the truck, and that's it. So I'm basically taking a garbage bag, putting it in the garbage, putting garbage in it, and then throwing away my garbage bag. That's what I was doing. And it turns out you don't need garbage bags. Funniest thing. Now, there was and I'll tell you what, I'll get into another one. Another one is laundry soap. People think it's a necessity. And again, the advertising will lead you to believe that if you don't use laundry soap, you are disgusting. Your clothes are dirty and gross and smell bad and stained. Okay, couple things about that. Number one, it is not the soap that cleans your clothes. You have to do your research. It is the agitation cycle in the laundry that gets the clothes clean. The agitation cycle. The soap doesn't really do anything except one, make your clothes smell good, and two, it has a film on it that will get onto your clothes, and then it will make it so that things cling to your clothes, dirt, bacteria, stuff like that. They cling to your clothes so that you need to continue to use the soap in order for your clothes to smell good. And you have to use more and more and more. Now, I say on this channel all the time, you don't use a full cap. It even says in the instructions to use this much. And I tried that for a good long while. I tried that for years and years and years. I used just a teeny tiny bit, like maybe a tablespoon of soap. My clothes smelled good. They were nice and clean, whatever. And then I ran out and I did my laundry without it. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. My clothes still came out clean and smelling good, because I hang dry my clothes and I love the way they smell when I hang dry them. Now, this is the thing where I talk about things just when I run out of things and I decide I'm never going to buy them again, they just show up. So there was an accidental shipment that came to my house from Amazon. I don't know how it got to me or who it was from. It wasn't intended to be mine. It had other stuff in it too, like an HVAC filter. I don't have HVAC. A couple other things. It had garbage bags, laundry soap, and a few other things that I don't remember what they were, but those were the main things. So I hadn't been using garbage bags for years, so now I have like 2 boxes of garbage bags under my sink that I didn't pay for, and they came to me mysteriously, and I called Amazon and they told me just to keep the stuff because it was easier for me to keep it and just refund wherever it came from than it was for me to send it back. So now I have garbage bags and laundry soap. Now this laundry soap, I have enough to last until it goes bad. It's gonna go bad before I use it all up. And it's only like 2 jugs because that's how infrequently I use it. Now my clothes are perfectly clean, they smell good, and I certainly don't stink because I took a bath this morning. So using antibacterial soap. And that's what causes bad, smelly body odor is bacteria. So if I'm using antibacterial soap, which costs 2 bars for $1, that's a lot. That's a lot better than spending 8, 9. I don't even know how much deodorant is now anymore. And this puts chemicals into your body. Everything we use puts chemicals into our body. So I want to use as few chemicals as possible. Now, when it comes to the laundry soap, these Zote soap, this is, I think, $1.35 ish. Now, Zote has done something really smart. For starters, it smells really great. This is for clothes. So it's just like instead of using bar soap, you use body wash. So liquid versus a bar. So this is a bar of laundry soap instead of a liquid laundry soap or a granule laundry soap. Powdered laundry soap, granuled, powdered laundry soap. So this is a bar. So what you do is you just take a washcloth, whatever, and you get it wet, and then you rub the bar on it and you throw it in the laundry and you have soap. But Zote has done something really smart. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. They made a bar half this size, which is about, there's a sticker on it. The remnants of a sticker. Anyway, so they made this bar, they cut it in half, and they made it about the size of a regular bar, and they sell them for 50 cents at the grocery store. At the grocery store. I'm sure they're probably even cheaper at like Walmart or something like that. So when I eventually run out of laundry soap in 10 years, I'm going to go back to using my 50-cent bar of Zote soap, and I'm still clean and my clothes will smell good and all that good stuff, but it does a lot less harm on the environment. It doesn't use chemicals. No Zote doesn't even advertise. They don't even have any advertisements. So millions of dollars weren't spent on advertisement to guilt me or shame me into purchasing these things. Another thing that, and these tips, by the way, have saved me thousands of dollars over the years. Now, here's some other stuff. So people have these regimens. That's enough, Nala. Have these regimens and these different soaps. You've got face soap, hand soap, moisturizer, anti-wrinkle cream, serum. I'm running out of stuff here. So I used to use lotion, and then something changed along the way. I don't know if it's just because I grew up or something, but the smell, no matter what kind of lotion it is, the smell, even if it's like a good one, I can't stand the smell, and it makes my hands feel sticky. I don't know if you guys get that. Somebody was very kind and sent me some Dove moisturizing lotion. Unfortunately, I had to give that away because it did that sticky thing, and it smelled really good, but I could smell the chemicals in it too. And I don't use any lotion. I don't use lotion or face cream or serum. I use soap. If I'm feeling particularly dry, I will take a tiny little fingertips worth of petroleum jelly and rub it on the spots that feel, or on my shins usually is where it happens, where I feel like I need some moisture. But petroleum jelly, I've had my little petroleum jelly thing for over a year and it's barely touched. So there's that. When it comes to makeup, I'm dollar store all the way, almost all the way, except for my liquid foundation, which is True Match. I do have some dollar store liquid foundation, but it seems really watered down to me. And I water down, and I already water down my liquid foundation, so it feels really watery and it doesn't blend well. But dollar store, and their main thing is Wet n Wild and CoverGirl, and those used to be the ones that us teenagers used to buy in the grocery store because it was cheap, and that's what we did when we were kids. So mascara, lipstick, liquid powder, whatever, and then the eyeliner stuff. And I go very simple. I go very simple on my makeup. So it cost me about $5. So I've got foundation for $8, and then powder, eyeliner, and mascara, and lipstick. So I have 5 things, probably totaling $10 that last me a year each. $10 a year. VO5 is $87 7 cents sometimes, shampoo and conditioner. Soap, I buy bars of soap. I don't care what it is. Jergens, Ivory are Dial is antibacterial, and 2 bars for $1.25 tree, or you can get them in bulk at Walmart, like 6 bars for about $3 or $4. Very, very inexpensive. So these have saved me thousands of dollars. There are other things when it comes to food. So I recently got, now I don't like dark meat chicken, but if it's as cheap as it was, I packed, you guys, my freezer is so full right now. 49 cents a pound for chicken drumsticks. Now, even if I don't like dark meat very often, and I'm not really a fan of drumsticks, that's fine. I'll put it in the crock pot. I'll turn it into shredded chicken, and I'll have shredded chicken tacos, burritos. You can put barbecue sauce into the chicken, and you can have like barbecued pulled pork type thing, but it's chicken. So many things you can do with that. So if you're vegetarian, you obviously don't eat meat, but if you're a meat eater and you need meat, I always buy the loss leaders. The loss leaders are the ones that are on the front page of the newspaper, or their weekly ad. And it's the ones that the stores will bring you into the store to buy. And hopefully while you're in the store, you're going to browse the other sections, because they always put the meat in the back of the store for a reason. So you're going to browse the other sections and hopefully buy a bunch of other products that are not loss leaders. I don't do that because I don't like to shop. And I also have a theory on shopping and why women are the masters of shopping. So way back in the day, in hunter and gatherer days, the men would go out and hunt something and kill it and drag it home, as Dave Ramsey would say. The women's job was gathering, foraging. And they had to use the least amount of calories to produce the amount of calories as a survival mechanism to live. So women, since we don't have to do the foraging anymore, women have now turned the best price, the biggest sale, and they internally, subconsciously equate that to many hours of work, which means hours of work equals calories. Biggest sale equals most calories back for your buck, equals survival mechanism. So that is my theory on why women love to shop. Me personally, you have seen my foraging videos. I am a real forager. I forage food. I haven't bought fruit and berries. I don't know how long. And now nuts. I've moved on to nuts. And now I am growing my own corn and beans to hopefully make my own cornmeal, so that I can make my own corn tortillas and bread, and beans to make my own soy milk out of my own soybeans that I grow. So completely free. That's bread and milk right there. That's what I'm growing. I also have potatoes and onions that I need to plant somewhere, but I'm having a hard time finding a good place. Now, I want you guys to really think about what is a necessity and what is not. And remember that you have been conditioned. And it's not your fault. These people are geniuses. Algorithms, artificial intelligence, billions of dollars of marketing and advertising to make you believe that if you don't buy their product, something is wrong. And you will be happier if you buy their product, whatever it takes to get you to buy it. Here's an example that I'm going over right now. I can't get home insurance. I mean, I don't want to say I can't, but there's this whole thing going on with home insurance around the world. Now, because my house is paid for, I am not required by law or any bank or anything to have home insurance. Now, here's the thing. I'm wondering, when people have home insurance, it's because they have a mortgage. The majority of people have a 30-year mortgage. So in their mortgage, they know in their mind, in the back of their head, they know that they are paying, a portion of their mortgage is paying for insurance. They are paying for insurance in their mortgage payment. They know that. And they've been doing it for 30 years. For 30 years. Just automatically. That's the way it is. That's the way it's been for the last 30 years. And then they finally pay off their house. And they're not required to purchase home insurance. But because they've been paying it for 30 years without question, they now have something making them believe that they need it. It's a necessity. Now, yes, there are areas where you may be in a flood zone, an earthquake zone, a fire zone. I am in the best place available. I am 90 miles from the ocean, so if there's a giant tsunami, I might be in trouble. I'm near I'm near Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen volcanoes. I am on the cusp of the Cascadia and the other one, the Cascadia and the Hayward fault line, the San Andreas. I'm right in the middle of the Cascadia and San Andreas fault lines. I'm in fire country, Northern California, near the forest where everything burns. So it might be a good idea for me to get fire insurance, but when I first started looking for it, when my insurance company just came out of nowhere and said, we're not going to insure you anymore. I've been with them for 20 years, but whatever. Okay. So I'm like, I'll just go with somebody else. The cheapest one I could find at the time was, I believe, $8,000. Now, the cheapest one I can find is like $12,000 a year. And guess what? I've never heard of them. It's not State Farm or Nationwide or AAA. It's just Chuck and Dick's Insurance. Like, that's just some random place I've never heard of. I don't know. And from all the horror stories I'm getting from the LA fires, the Pacific Palisades, is that these insurance companies, even if you have full insurance, they're not ponying up. So what's the point? It's just because they've told us that we have to have insurance if we want a mortgage, and then we have a mortgage for 30 years. And then when the mortgage is gone, we still think that we need it because we've had it for 30 years. We can't imagine our lives without it. I'll take another example here. Now, I'm not ready to get rid of my car yet because of my dogs, okay? In case there's an emergency or a vet thing or anything like that. But if it came down to it, if it really came down to it, I could get rid of my car and it wouldn't even, it would be a tiny bit of inconvenience, but I'm talking minuscule. I have so many e-bikes. I have trailers for my e-bikes, so I can go to the grocery store and I can stock up just as much as I would be able to fit in my car trunk. These e-bikes have such a long distance on them, and I have a dog trailer. I could put the dogs in the trailer and take them out to the forest and walk them in the forest just like I do now by loading them up in my car. I could do that with an e-bike. The only difference is that I wouldn't be able to go on long distance journeys that are a 2-hour drive away for a day adventure. So it would take me 2 or 3 days to get there, and then I'd have to stay there for a couple days and 2 or 3 days to get back if I'm going on a bicycle. But you can still get just as far on a bike. In fact, I have a friend who lives in Los Angeles, not affected by the Palisades, thank goodness. She lives in Hollywood. But she has a car. She has 2 cars. She has a car and a truck. And I had her ride one of my e-bikes for, I don't know, a day or two. She was going out on an adventure. And I was like, here, take an e-bike. And she takes an e-bike. She comes back and she goes, I gotta get one. I'm getting one. And I was like, well, buy one from me. And she goes, I can't. I don't have enough room in my car because I'm moving all my stuff and all this other stuff. But she goes, but I'm definitely going to get one. She gets one. And now in LA, in Hollywood, when she commutes to work, she commutes on her e-bike, and she says it takes her less time to get to work and home on her e-bike than it did in her car because of the traffic. Can you believe that? I can totally see it. Oh, you guys are so cute. I love it. I love it. But I want you guys to think about it, even if you think it's a necessity, how can you either greatly minimize the cost of that thing or get it for free or do without it? Another example, you guys, toilet paper. So toilet paper has, what is up with the price of toilet paper? The last one I got was like a year ago, and it was like $25 for Scott's single ply. I use single ply. It's just a preference. But like it was like $27 for I don't know how many rolls. I still have plenty of rolls left. But during COVID, in the shortage, I decided I was going to get a bidet. And by the way, do the scientific study. It's so funny when you tell people that you have a bidet, they have so many questions. What about the water dripping? It's totally unsanitary. It's disgusting. No, a bidet is like 20 times more sanitary than toilet paper. People in the East use it. They've always used a bidet. But here's the thing: is that one 27 roll of toilet paper, $27. I think it was like 12 rolls. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember. But it has reduced toilet paper usage by 80 to 90%. You simply don't need toilet paper if you have a bidet. And when I run out of toilet paper, I am very much considering going to family cloths, just taking old washcloths, old rags, and using the bidet and then just putting a little trash can next to my toilet. And then if I do wipe, which by the way, the wiping is not necessary when you have a bidet, but you do it just to get the water off. But just wiping and then tossing it in the trash can and dumping it into the washing machine when it's time to do a load of laundry. That would make my cost of toilet paper exactly $0. $0. Soap, 50 cents. Deodorant, $0. You don't need it, folks. Almost everything on this planet that people tell you you need, they scare you into thinking that you need it. They guilt you into thinking that you need it. And when I'm on here being honest, I'm sure that there's people out there that think I'm disgusting. I promise you, I smell good. Not only do I not smell bad, I smell good. I smell good, folks. I'm clean. Anyway, and this goes to all aspects of life, all of it. Look at every single bill you have and determine if it was really a true necessity. When you start thinking like that and you start really seeing what the advertiser and marketing companies are doing to you, whenever you see the next commercial, look at what they're really trying to say. Why is this company telling me I'm a bad person? Why is this company telling me I'll be happier with their product? Why is this company telling me that I'm a bad parent? Why are they trying to get me to buy this? How are they trying to get me to buy this? Through guilt, fear, pain, unhappiness? When you start looking at commercials like that, seeing through the BS, it's gonna open your eyes wide open. All right, folks, that's what I've got for you today. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. You guys always want to see the dogs. Here's my little Nala. Chilling. Being a good girl. You being a good girl? Do I get a kiss? Give me a kiss. Thank you. Thank you. Good girl. My little sweetheart. Yeah. Then we've got this guy. Hi, handsome. Where are you going? Where are you going? What you doing? What you doing? Oh, my handsome mister. Yes, give me a kiss. Thank you. Oh, get the neck. Oh, right there. Right there. Is that the spot? Oh, yes, scratches. Oh, scratches feel so good. Yes. Good boy. Mommy loves you. Look at that face. Look at that face. I love you. I love you. Handsome.